Oh, looks like we're going live. Your audience will see it in a moment. Get ready. We
I'll believe
live?
it. I'll
We're
believe it
live. It
when I see it.
worked. All right. So this is
I'll
what
believe it
happens
when
when
I
you
see
don't
it.
you don't get scared or stressed out waiting for Vapor Swaggins.
Are we live, Arjun? No, not live.
What the heck? It says right here, stream health. It says we're live.
I'm only gonna believe you when Marjorie says we're live.
All right, my channel. Oh, it's a separate. It's a totally separate.
Oh,
Link.
dude, we're live.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
It's a separate. It's not the link that I set up because it wasn't working.
No.
So it's a separate live altogether. It's totally fine though because we're gonna do it like this, guys. We're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna post the link in here.
All the links
Go
I sent
here.
out are now null. and
Don't even
void.
worry about it because they're gonna find it.
So the
Let me see.
links that we sent out are not gonna link them to the show.
It's totally fine.
Hopefully they're smart.
Chat.
Like, oh, this is Vapor Swaggins channel, and they click on it. And...
Here's the deal. This is my first time scheduling. Like I scheduled it yesterday. I had the stream key and everything, and then I clicked start streaming, and it wasn't. So I had to make a clutch decision, so I wasn't, 15 minutes late. Stan. Yeah, you got to switch to the link that I posted in chat, Marjorie. See, people are already over here now. You guys are the slowpokes. What's going on, everybody? My name's Vapor Swaggins, and I'm here so you don't have to be. Here are my panelists. That's Pal702 and Louis Nicolette. And
what's up, everybody?
Say
How
what's
you guys
up.
doing? Happy Sunday. And just so you guys know, Vapor Swaggins, he totally planned this entire show from start to finish, all the content. So all the praise goes to this guy right here because it's gonna be the best show ever. Right?
That, right there.
Yes.
Right there.
I am constantly trolling, so let's be honest, guys. That was on purpose. I trolled you all because I don't care about my content, but I do care about you guys. So therefore, this part of the content will actually be good. I'm sorry that I fucked with you. We can say the F word on my channel because I'm Vapor Swaggins, and I said so.
Earmuffs.
So Stan isn't here today. You'll notice that we're missing Stan, but his logo is on the screen. He didn't get kicked off the show yet. He's in the UK. He just finished an expo in Birmingham. We know about that. So that's basically going to be, why we're going to be talking about, high end at expos, modders galleries, places to go, shows to save up for, like whether it's only in Europe you're going to find these things, or whether you can find good places to go to in the US if you're looking to be able to buy stuff for, at cost, or as in high end, the margins aren't really that big, but you may be able to get access to like a Epsilon Solar Storm, which you wouldn't have access to it anywhere else, but you see it at a modders gallery at a show. Okay. So that's why we're going to talk about those things. That's why it makes, there's a point to it. But before we get into that, I just want to say hello and welcome to everybody. And what better way to do that than to send Pal into the chat for some shout outs. Go ahead, Pal.
Shout outs. All right. We got, I don't even have to look at chat. We got Bill Marsh out there. We have the legendary fictitious character out there. We have Mailman Vapes 2 out there. We have Texas Clouds. Who else? Jeremy Lane. How can I forget Jeremy Lane? Like, that dude posts so much badass gear in the Facebook group. Like, he has to be like in the top 3 of badass posters.
Oh yeah,
I'm in the bottom 3. I don't post very much. I need to post more. Who else do we have? Marjorie in chat, and she's right over there too. What's up, Marjorie? How you doing? But
Marjorie.
you can cannot hear. We have the Vape Demon, who earlier was asking about should he buy the Hussar Legacy, and the answer to that is always yes. It's always yes. Yes, yes, yes. Swags, I think you just sold yours, but that's for a different time.
Yeah.
Robert Wakefield's Coil Proby. And that's pretty much it. Where's Weenus at? Where is we?
This is kind of a last minute
Yeah.
thing. I mean, we thought that we knew that Stan wasn't going to be able to stream from his computer in the UK, and then he just couldn't be on the show either because his internet was so shoddy. I guess they just don't have good internet where he's at.
Are you trying to say that the UK has horrible internet?
Yes, I'm saying,
Wow.
it's mutually
He's
exclusive.
towards it.
Absolutely. So welcome again, everybody. Just hang out with us. We're going to chat. Throw your questions up in chat. If you have any questions, we're going to save those in our chat, and we're going to address those at the end during Pal's Corner, where he gets hype beast on a bitch.
I mean,
He's already there. But anyways, so why don't we he's got two Red Bulls. I got a special coffee today.
Is that one sugar free, one sugar?
yep.
Oh, it is.
Balance it out. All right,
like
so why don't we get into our buffets, and then we can just start, talking shop or just basically bullshitting. So, Louis, I'd love to start with you.
All right, let's see. It's good to be back. It's been like a month.
Welcome back, bro.
Yes, we missed you on last show.
My whole week felt off not being on the show last week. I was like, this just does not feel right. What week is it? So good to get back on track, back on the show, get to show off some new toys. So let's see, where do we start at? We'll start off with my daily rider, Hellfire Shadow, Skyfall on top. Let's see, next we got the Visionary Mods Ballot with the Project Expo on top. Next we got the Stratum 505. Oh yeah.
Nice.
With the NAR EA on top with the Chrismon bell cap.
Jealous.
Love Chrismon caps.
I'm a hater right now.
Mech Life. We got the Sturm Smuggler mech right here. Little smuggler action. And no, that is not an RDA. That is a Venom RDTA.
That's sweet right there.
Nice little trick it does, man. It's a really nice little trick. And this RDTA is freaking awesome. Love it. And let's see, last but not least, we got the MK Manciata. Vapor Swaggins little twin right here.
Yeah, buddy.
With the Dwarf 24 on top. Liquids, I am vaping on all these things. I got some berry milk pie. Freaking great liquid right here. I can't believe it took me so long to try it. Daily vape right here, cannoli V1. Got some crooks because we're going with some coffee. Got some crunchy clouds, cornbread pudding, 80, and some butter pecan toffee. All my favorites, pretty much. So let's see, we'll swing it on down to Pal. See what he's working with.
All right, what's up, everybody? And you know what I'm thinking? I had the chat popped out from the original link, so I'm wondering if I'm looking at the chat from the
Yeah,
wrong
you need to pop
screen.
out the chat from the new link, my dude.
Okay, so all of you guys, if you're typing to me in chat right now, I have the chat window from the original link popped out and the YouTube totally closed. So I'll change that in a second. But to the buffet, we have the no name Fat Boy right there with the Alliance Tech Evo sitting on top, and inside that we have some delicious Baker's Cinnamon Crunch right here, which is actually really delicious. We have the Hussar Legacy, which the demon or the vape demon is going to buy, sitting on top of Mum's Switch, and in that I have
really good things.
I have Vapor Swaggins' new e-juice line. That's him right there.
Oh, because
Parallel.
Stan isn't here now, it's like this is the troll juice, which is dripping
No,
off
dude,
of your
you
fingers
look like
right
this guy.
now.
No, if you had hair and a face tattoo, you'd look like this guy right here. That's
And
you.
it starts.
Starts right there.
It starts right there.
Next, we have the Cobra with the Maverick sitting on top. Inside of there, I have strawberry taffy. No, I don't. I'm lying. I have Syntax.
It's like they were
Syntax.
meant for each other.
It's right. And then this setup, which has been like my work setup forever now, the SQ with the flavor on top, because the flavor is just that good. The flavor is,
I love that sandblasted. Or the,
top 3, top
blasted or whatever.
4. And there's always Taffy Splash in this one. And then last but certainly not least, we got to have a cloud banger out here. So the MCM Halo with the MCM UDG 25 sitting on top. This is a dual 21700. Got a couple of 40Ts in there. So I have 8,000 mAh, which is kind of awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's it. I'm going to pass it to Swags, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in the right chat because I feel like there's people in the wrong chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can. I'm keeping an eye. I posted the link. Nobody's chatting in there anymore. I kept posting links. I wound up posting a link to the channel. This is the thing, man. People,
this is fun.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you can't have fun with it, then it's not worth it. So I'm not worried about it. If you guys can share the links out to people that may like message you looking to come hang out, by all means. If not, hang out, enjoy yourselves. I'm good. It's good to see you guys. I see people in the chat that are my usual trolls, and I love all of you. Trolls rule. So good to see all of you guys. I'm glad that Pal basically showed us everything that he owns while in his buffet. So without further ado, he has more.
Yeah, you want me to keep going? I have the
yeah.
I have the Vicious Ant Primo with the Skyline on top.
Mm-hmm.
I have the
You got to vape all these, by the way.
With the Apex on top. Okay.
How's that Apex? I heard it's good.
You should watch my review. I have the Onimaru with the armor on top.
Okay.
All of these are vaping.
Are you gonna vape on them though? I love you too, Broken Home.
I think
all
that's.
Right. I think that's.
I think I'll stop.
So yeah, cool. I mean, so you proved me wrong. Thank you for that. I'm gonna get into what I'm vaping on. It's just a few things. I got a few new things in, and I'm vaping on them. So let's talk about it. I got the Apex by Vicious Ant in. I bought this from a site that's not up yet, but the man is in this room. And it is a glorious vape. Like, I was skeptical about it because it's bottom airflow and it's squonk, but when you see how deep the juice well is, and you'll just want to get one. The vape is perfect wide open. It's not super
7 milliliters.
Yeah, it's super. Wasn't it 4.5 or something like that?
The juice well measures a little over 7 millimeters from the top.
Well, from the airflows down though.
7.
7,
it's
really?
It's like 7. Yeah, it's huge.
Damn.
It's
all right.
It's
well,
huge.
and and you'd think like, all right, well, we could talk about this later. Let me just go through this. Actually, I don't have Stan to be like, dude, it's not a review. It's just go through your buffet. I mean, there's no Stan to say that, so I need to get out of that place in my mind. But anyways, let me go through the buffet and then we can talk about some of this stuff. So on the bottom of that is the Armor V2. Or just the Armor Mech in black. I think, it's known as the V2. It comes with the silver contacts, but this is just a banger of a setup. It's a 0.28 micro alien in here, 2838 dual 3 millimeter. It just bangs, man. It's just a good little vape. It really is.
And the airflow is not too tight on it?
No, it's not. It's not as restrictive. Like, so if you have the flavor, it's not restrictive like the flavor is. It's much looser. I would say it's closer to that of, like the basic, maybe even the Typhoon BTD.
Okay.
It's loose, but it's kind of got a tightness to it. And you can adjust down as well. There's a little ring. And there's actually rings coming out for this to change it up, but it looks sexy. That's Black Peak. Just, you know what? Watch Pal's review on it. That's what I watched, and then I bought one. So that's got, what does it have in it? Oh, it has Turkish Harvest, which is a glorious, like, butterscotch Granny Smith apple. It's delicious. Secondly, I'm vaping on the Smuggler by Sturm in the 18650 with a copper contact. I'm actually enjoying the patina on this, just enough copper that it doesn't smell like pennies, but it's got a nice kind of salmoning to it, and I love it.
I feel like you guys are going to make me buy that too.
Yeah, dude, honestly, dude, I just bought the 18350.
Yeah,
I love
too.
this so much. I bought the whole setup though. Like, I got a whole button housing and everything, and it's under $200 with shipping.
Can't beat it.
On top of that is the Jenna by Jay Hayes and Ravensmoon. Honestly, this is in my top 5. Everybody says it's like a banger. It's the best thing ever. I wouldn't say it's the best thing ever, but I would say that I keep picking it up. It's good. I really enjoy it, so it's in my top 5. And inside of that,
excellent on a tube. On a tube, it's excellent.
Exactly. On a mech, like I found on a mech, Squonk or whatever, like I had it on a regulated device when I first started vaping it, and it was like a wet noodle vape. It was just like, what is this? You know, this is not crackly. This is not glorious. And I put it on a dot squonk, and it was like, it was kicking, man. And now I just keep it on mechs. Like, it's been going from one mech to the next. Inside of that, I have Tango Melon by Transistor, my favorite juice of all time. And lastly, I'm vaping on one of my SVA Rats, DNA 75C Squonk, 18650. And I just got in my Chris Munn's bell caps for my Monarch V2. And this is the slam cap. And I'll tell you what, it's a game changer. Like, I liked this RDA before, but I was skeptical. I was on the fence about getting rid of it. With this on top, it was like a silver lining. It was like, shit, this is really good. Because it was like, I'm not going to sell it and make, because it's expensive, right? And you're looking at like over $300 with the caps. So
What's
I
up
love
with
it
that
though.
beauty ring though, Swags? What's
Oh,
up with that beauty ring?
The beauty ring is that
Yeah, why
comes
isn't
with
that
the
matched
V2.
up? I mean,
The beauty this
I feel like you could have, you know.
I don't have a PMMA beauty
I'm
ring.
just-
This
that's
drip
so
tip,
good.
dude. This drip tip's actually I bought over $200 worth of Skyfall accessories. This is the first accessory from that bag that I've used. It's the slammed the shorty PMMA drip tip that you get for like the PMMA caps or whatever. So yeah, that's
Just
a
in case
Skyfall
you guys
drip tip.
don't know, like if you try to get Skyfall accessories and you couldn't, it's because Vapor Swags bought all of them.
I bought all of them.
He literally bought all
Except
of
for the peak, the LE peak cap and the DLC because they were sold out. And also, he's lying. If you guys are true proponents of high end, you'll know that you're limited to one purchase per item. So, pal,
them. Not if you have multiple personalities, man.
pal
That's
is blown
the
smoke
rules.
as per usual.
Shout out to Sick Boy Mac and Dane Bentley because I'm in the right chat now.
Yeah.
Miss those guys.
Yeah,
John
Mac
Galloway,
Tannen, my dude. Sick boy, my dude. Sasha. My
Sasha.
dude,
Yeah,
speaking of Sasha, let's talk about our sponsor real quick before we move on. Stratum.store. Stratum's in the chat. What's going on? The guys over at Stratum, they're nice enough to team up with us to provide things for you guys, like a waffle that we're going to be doing. So keep your eyes out for a timer in the group, the Facebook group, the Vape Forum, the High End Vape Forum on Facebook, because we're going to be doing a 2,000 member appreciation and achievement waffle for a brand new 303. That's like a $600 mod that you could possibly win. You know how waffles go for like, what, $15? If you buy one spot, you lucky bastard. Just, make sure nobody knows where you live because people might be upset. Just kidding. No hurt feelings allowed. But anyway, Stratum.store and Sasha, Stratum.store just got Poets in, and it's cheaper than I bought it for. It cost me $130, I think, shipped, which is it's not a lot of money when you think about it comparatively, and it's a good little banger. But I think you get free priority shipping in the U.S. with our code, the VF. And I think it's under $100. So you're looking at a good deal if you want to try out a nice slammed little single coil Addy with, I think it's RSA only and it's single sided airflow. But that's my promo, the only promo. Got it out of the way. Let's get into our topic, shall we?
Topics.
Yeah. What were we going to talk about today? Did I mention it earlier? I forget.
Talked about it a little bit.
I don't know, but we better make it count because fictitious character said he's supposed to be cutting down trees right now.
All right. Well, we're going to make
So
it count.
he's-
We're going to be talking about expos and modders galleries, what to expect at modders galleries, how to find out who's going to be at what show, what the best shows are. Are they only in Europe? Or are there some that you can count on saving up for if you really want to go and see, like, say, Kronig, for instance, which is a Swedish company? Like, which one's Kronig going to be out of the States? Because I want to save up and go to that one. So I'm going to defer to you, Louis, because I know that you have experience with this. I have limited experience. I have some background knowledge, but I figure you might be the best person to start with, and then we can kind of go from there.
What's up, Andrea Perset?
Go from here. Yeah, like, I mean, expos are a great way to get, mods and addies that are otherwise really hard to get, whether it's F5 wars or, quick strikes or whatever. Sometimes, modders will go there, they'll have their stock there, and you just go to the expo and buy it from them directly. And it's a good way to, like, skip out on shipping fees and, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
To find out, like, who's going to be there, like, you can either, there's like a website, I believe, that lists all the expos that happen and what's going on and who's going to be there. If you're already a member of the group that you're interested in, I'm sure like the modders and admins would post if they're going to be at that expo or not, you know? So that would be like the best bet if you're looking to get some, certain things at expos. Just follow the person you're interested in buying from. I'd have to do some more research and find out what the name of that website is that does list those expos. But yeah, like, have you ever gone to an expo searching for something and it just happened to be there? Swaggins?
Dude, I've only been to one expo. I've been vaping for for a little over 4 years now. And I went to one expo, NVE, and they had this giant modders gallery, and they had like no modders there. Thank God for Stratum and for Squonk America, because they weren't. I mean, Stratum is they have OLC Stratum mod, so they are a modder, but they had their stuff, and they had like Solar Storms, and they had Kimberly's, and they had other people's stuff. But there was no specific modder. Like, I expected Kronig to be there, and like there were people that signed up that just didn't show up. So it's like, I'm like, all right, I don't know where to go that I would like be like, all right, well, that modder is going to be there specifically, so I know they have a stock of their stuff. But let me speak to Sasha from Van and Dell. I mean, if anybody's gonna, if you're gonna listen to anybody, listen to a modder, right? And he's saying Stuttgart, which is in Germany, and Paris. Those ones in Europe are like the ones that every vapor should experience, or modder. So that's huge. Like, that'd be cool. I know it's expensive for US people to do a trip like that, but if you want to go to like the mecca of vape expos for high end, and the one that all the modders don't miss, I mean, let's just look at it. Like, let's just look at it.
We just look at it.
Just look at it.
Stuttgart is
ESG. Like, they're not selling any Skyfalls or doing any drops right now because he is building up a stock for Stuttgart. Like, that is a big deal. So that's going to be a big one. That seems to be one that like everybody goes to. I'm not going to be going, but maybe in the future, like, I could save up and go to that, because I would definitely love to go just to talk to the dudes. Like, not even maybe to buy their products, because I may already have them, but just to talk to the dudes behind some of my favorite products.
That would be my reason for going, to meet up with everybody I've been talking to for years and getting to experience seeing them one-on-one, instead of talking to a keyboard. That would be an awesome experience. And it's kind of sad, too, that the U.S. doesn't have something like a Stuttgart or Paris. We used to have something called Vapor Showcase Expo, where a lot of the high-end modders would go to, but it's just died down. It's just not the same as it used to be. NVE is probably the best expo in the USA right now. I heard Vegas was pretty good too.
Well, isn't Vegas Showcase?
Shout out Frames, Jake Clinton.
I don't believe Vegas. What was Vegas show last year, pal?
Vegas show was awesome, is what it was.
Is it Showcase though? Like, who's the company that does the promotion for it?
I have no clue. It was my first expo ever, and I've been vaping for like 8 years.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was Showcase, but like they're the one. I think that if anything, like, that's what I'm hearing and gathering, is like that's the one that people go to. Like, I watched, I think Tony B, he did a live stream at last November's Vegas show, and there were so many modders there. Like, Kronig was there. That's why I thought Kronig was going to be at NVE. But I already bought a Kronig, but I just wanted to talk to the guys. So I think that like Vegas is the closest thing that I believe that we'll have, or we have at this point, to what's in Europe at this point.
Kronig was at Vegas.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at my pass to see if it said what.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Put on the actual Vegas Expo, but I do know that it's in November. No, I don't. It's November what? Like the 21st? We already bought our tickets. 23rd.
I heard that they were not doing the Vegas Expo, but that's for this one coming up. And I got scared. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's for the one at the Westgate, and it was supposed to be, I think, the 15th or something of May, and that one's canceled. But the big one at the actual convention center, that's still a go.
Yeah, November, and I'm planning to do that one myself. Can you stream this show on other groups? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I think you just post the link to this video, and you could post it in a group. We had a little technical difficulty at the beginning, Mac, but honestly, I'm done talking about it. We're just going to keep going from where we're at, and we'll, next time will always be
It was
better.
perfect.
Yeah, it's not a big
good.
deal. I just don't want to waste time talking about good stuff. So if there's anything that you guys can say or shout out in the chat, any questions, again, throw them out there. We're going to be keeping an eye on it. We're not Stan. We don't ignore the chat. We're going to keep taking digs at Stan throughout the show. If you want to take a shot every time we take a dig at Stan, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so by all means, go ahead. But why would you go to a show for a modder? I don't know, because you want the product and you can't get it anywhere else. I think that's a really good way to go about doing it. Like if you're in, let's just stick with the US. Like say you're keeping an eye out or you go to the US. I'm going to ask you this question, pal, like you're going to a show, right? It's your first time going to a vape convention. You want to find the modders gallery. And you want to know, like, what's the etiquette? Like, can I go up and can I haggle? Or, do I go up and look at it? And if I don't know anything about it, like, should I be nervous or should I just, like, be honest, blah, blah, blah. So, like, what's just a general first-time convention goer finding a modders gallery and, like, looking for something that you don't necessarily know what you want or, like, how much you really want to spend?
I wouldn't haggle ever, but that's just probably because I worked in used cars and sales and stuff. Like I hated people that haggled me, so I never haggle for price. Like whatever they say it is, that's what I buy. I met Vitaly at the Vegas one. I didn't know who he was, and I just walked up and was like, I want the Legacy. And he's like, $175. Boom, there you go. Then we start bullshitting. Then he threw in like a cap or something. So I think if you don't haggle, you tend to get extra stuff. And if this is all a theory though, because I don't haggle.
Yeah.
But that was my first one. So, and there is a lot of times a language barrier. Like when I was talking to SVA, me and that guy barely could communicate. I was trying to find like a mechanical squonker. They didn't have it, so I ended up buying the X. But so there's also language barriers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I know that some people at booths definitely don't like people that are like trying to hit them up for free stuff and haggle. So I personally I don't haggle.
That's another good point to expos is you actually get to go there and touch the product and hold it in your hand, because you'll see something on a picture of something online and it really doesn't give you a good representation. Like even if you hold like a mod or an atomizer up to next to like a standard size credit card, it still doesn't give you like a good idea. Like when I first saw the ballot pictures, I'm like, man, that looks tall. But when you get it in your hand, you're like, whoa, it's really short. You just can't comprehend. Nothing's better than seeing it in real life.
And that's something we're losing touch with. Like, and I'm guilty of it, man. I will make, and I think that most of us here, what we understand about high end is that we won't lose that much. Like sometimes maybe I'll lose $30, maybe I'll lose shipping on something, but what's the cost of $30 on a $500 mod just to be able to try it to see if you like it? Like that's still getting, more than 80% or more than 90% of your money back. But still, yeah, like when a lot of people, I mean, if I wasn't out of my mind, like obsessed and have a problem, an addiction to collecting vape stuff and especially high-end vape stuff, I wouldn't do this. I would want to go, and be frugal. Like if I'm going to spend $400, $500, even $300, $350, whatever, throw a number out there, whatever your number is, over a certain amount, you're going to want to put it in your hands. You're going to want to be like, all right, do I really like this? Are the buttons too flush? Is it hard for me to get my sausage fingers into this button? Because like that's the thing about the Kimberly for me.
You have sausage fingers?
No, I don't. I don't have sausage.
I was gonna say
fingers.
They don't look very.
But like
fat.
for like the Kimberly, which I have right there, love it. Tiny, like one of my smallest non-squonk regulated devices, high-end devices, and the buttons are so flush that I find that like I literally have to try and get my nail in there sometimes to press it.
Swags, we have a birthday boy in chat. We got to shout out.
Who dat?
ID Voca.
All right, well, you know how it goes. Sing him happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, sir. I believe birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear ID Voca, with the very nice Pinoy mechanical mod collection that he posts all the time on Facebook. And I want to say he lives in Saudi Arabia. Dubai. He's going to correct me. but I don't know what time it is. But shout out for tuning in from way over there. That's badass. But happy birthday,
You
man.
made it to chat.
Happy birthday.
Weenus.
Finally.
Weenus.
Weenus
And
is
Philly
the heenus.
Vape. Philly 215. Philly Vape. He's been posting some pretty fire reviews on some high-end stuff.
Yeah, he has.
His content is getting very good. I would highly suggest checking out his channel.
I think this is a good time to kind of transition because we've talked about this. People seem to not have like a lot of questions about it. I think everybody kind of gets the drift. I mean, we could give some recommendations later on if we think about it, but basically the whole point was Stan's in the UK at an expo. He was going to come on and talk about like what he saw for high end, what he picked up, but we wanted to kind of talk about what to expect, you know, just maybe a touch of where the like mecca of, you know, modders galleries are. Like if you're just looking for stuff that's hard to attain and it's like those solar storms, man, if you didn't put one in your hand, I would not, like, that's for me like $700 or whatever. I would say I can't spend that kind of money without knowing whether I really want this or not. And then getting it in your hand, you're like, shit, I really want this, but I'm not going to spend that money right now. So that's that. I kind of want to transition into like maybe a little bit of a mosh posh of like what's new that we've picked up. Are we enjoying it, etc.? You know, what's coming on the forefront? What are we seeing? What lists are we getting on, etc.? So let's start with you, pal. What have you picked up?
I picked up this Hellfire Mav T right here. I literally just picked it up off my desk.
I saw that. That's why I called on you.
Very beautiful. What did I pick up? I picked this up. I posted a review yesterday. The Old Boy. And this is, if anyone hasn't seen this thing, it's pretty badass.
How does that work?
It's so, okay, this is weird because.
And who's it
like
by?
It's by No Name. It is they're out of Italy, high-end modder. I've never owned anything from them.
The guys that do this.
What's crazy, yeah, the same guys that made that, which is super badass, is like the switch to me is on the top because there's a spring and like a piece of Delrin. And when you push from the side, it makes the connection up there. So that would be the switch. Even though they call it like a side switch, this isn't really this. I mean, this, you would say this would be the button, but the switch is up top. And it's a tube inside a tube. And there's like these little ball bearings. It's a crazy, anyone that collects tubes, this is a pretty badass tube for your collection.
Does it hit hard?
I mean, it hits decent, but I just vape singles on it. I've never really put like a super banger on there, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it hits like super hard. It's just kind of normal.
And it doesn't slip in your hands when you go to slide up the tube. Like slippage.
No, because it's got those cutouts right there. So like your finger goes here and this goes here, and they're just like that. But then what else? I got the this dwarf, which is like 5 feet tall. And these guys are trying to talk me into getting the top fill.
It'd be a lot shorter, man. It's the Dwarf 20, the direct lung is a lot taller, man. It's just, I mean, it's bigger than the mouth to lung is a 24 versus a 22.
This is like the size of an 18.
But that tank is like ridiculously tall. Oh, you have a Project X, man? I used to have one of those.
Used to.
Yeah.
I promise it's on its way. Swags.
I get a package. I buy some stuff from Pal. I get a package from Pal, and I'm like super stoked because he's been really amping this up. And he's like, Pal and I are a lot alike when it comes to tanks. You know, we don't like. It takes a lot for us to like a tank, and so like I tried a couple builds in the Project X, but I just didn't give it enough time because like I already have a disposition of being like, tanks, RTAs are not my thing, or RDTAs are not my thing. But he's been loving it so much because I sent it to him to try it out and review, etc. And he loved it so much he got one for himself and now has mine and the one that he bought. And like he's been talking it up so much that I'm like, I need it back. I need to try this out. Keep the build in it. Keep the build you put in it. I need to try this out.
I feel like I did you a favor by not sending it back because you might have like flipped it or sold it. You know, I mean, you could have got rid of it. So now you're gonna like want. You're gonna want.
I think you missed everything I just said, bro.
No, I'm telling you. No, actually, I'm really shitty at mailing things out.
Yeah, I realized this.
But when you do get the package, there's gonna be so many special things in there for you, Swags, that you're gonna just love, and it's gonna make up for my tardiness.
Dude, thank you, and I appreciate it. But speaking of shipping, I have great news for everybody. I think I've talked to you all about CLZ and how I've been fighting to get that, in all fairness, because he's been having a lot of stuff going on, but at a certain point, you just want what you spent all that money on. Well, it's finally shipped. Fingers crossed. It's been in a customs check since the 2nd. So, and Finland has been really anti-vaping lately. Like they just lost the ability to ship DHL. Now they can ship only, like he's shipped at UPS. So, I mean, there's big stuff going on. It sucks that we're still fighting it everywhere, vaping and all that stuff. It doesn't, like, if you think it doesn't touch high end, it touches everybody,
Oh yeah.
These regulations and this misinformation, etc. But we won't get too much into that. I'm just telling you, I'm excited because it's on its way. And now I have a tracking number and I don't have to like think about being, how to be respectful, but also be like, I'm frustrated because it's been 3 months since I paid for this thing.
Yeah.
That happens. That's part of vaping.
Yeah.
It's a good
Especially
discussion.
high
to have.
end.
Yeah.
Something like I waited a year for some mods to get made and shipped out to me. But yeah, it's crazy how anti-vaping Finland is. Without the partial services, there is no vaping in this industry. So,
Wait, Finland is anti-vaping?
yeah, they got a bunch of anti-vaping laws.
That's kind of weird.
It's really strict. I don't know. Like, I don't know any more of the story behind it other than that, but I just know that CLZ makes beautiful mods. But if you don't want to wait and you're not trying to do something specific, like for me, I want a Juma, and he doesn't do Juma anymore, like because it just costs too much for him to buy a Juma block and only make one item out of it. But if you can find one on the CLZ by BST or whatever, they're gorgeous. I'll have one to show you hopefully soon. But if you don't want Juma, then you're better off. Like I talked to a guy who bought one secondhand, and as we all know, it's okay to buy secondhand, and that might be a quicker route. Like I sent my block out December, like late December, and I'm still like, it's just, you have to have patience. You have to know how to be respectful and when to talk, and everybody's a different personality and you have different language barriers. It's not the most exciting part. Like for me, the haggling and the buying and selling and the searching is the most exciting part. This is not exciting for me. I can't just forget about it, because if I did, I probably still wouldn't have tracking for it. So it's a little stressful. But
when you get a custom mod made, it's a stressful ordeal, because like when I get a custom mod made, I send the money and then I just put it on my head until I see the tracking get sent to me, and then I'm like, oh yes, I can get excited about it now. So
absolutely.
So who is taking longer to ship, me or CLZ? Swags, that's the question.
I think that it's obvious that it's you.
Yeah,
it's me.
Yeah.
Wait, you gave that to me at Vape Expo in March?
No, I didn't. Here's the deal. I didn't care about it. Like, I was like, just use it, man, until you hyped it up so hard. And then all of a sudden you were like,
good.
And I'm going to send you like 6 bottles of 12 milligram juice. And I'm trying to get off of
right
Nick
there.
Salt. Yeah, I'm trying to get off of Nick Salt. I'll be honest. I bought an Apex and a UDG 25, and I love both of these. Well, I haven't set up the UDG 25.
And you bought it from Marjorie, who does not suck at shipping. Marjorie literally
I thought you guys were the same entity. All right, I'm a little confused here.
Don't let me ship anything. Like Marjorie literally will like.
All right, Marjorie.
She's there in like 2 minutes.
Marjorie's my go-to person then.
Yes.
No, I didn't get your package, Michelle Lynn. The pickles probably got eaten by the post office. They love pickles. Michelle Lynn Deldime always sending me her famous pickles. Like, she has a pickle farm, and she brings her pickles like 3 years in a row. She's been a blue ribbon pickle, like biggest pickle, crispiest, crunchiest, pickle. Like, she has the best pickles ever. Half sours, by the way, completely kosher. But that being said, let's go on and talk about, because we were talking about BSTs, we were talking about etiquette with regard to talking to specifically like modders, if you're working with a modder, or like how to reach out to modders. I think that would be a good topic to kind of run with, and I'd like to defer to you again, Louie, because I learned this all from you, and then maybe we can chime in, Pal and I. I mean, we could talk about Panoy and how you access Panoy, but I'd love to start with you, Louie.
So like BST etiquettes, what you mean, like BSTs where it's trading goons for Nardos?
Yeah. Now that's a good question, actually. That wasn't necessarily where I was going, but this is a good point, I think. Let's talk about that, because there might be some new people, but maybe the chat can help out as well, in the sense that like you might see a hyped up Addy like the Wicked, and you see people being like, "We'll trade Wicked for Skyfall." Like, are these people serious or are they trolling? And do you laugh? Like, do you drop a laugh emote, or do you like drop a like, or do you just ignore it? Is this real?
It like depends on the person, you know. Like it's all about educating yourself and being involved in the group that you're with, and if you see a person that posts a lot and you think they got a lot of experience, you know, you just reach out to that person and be like, hey, you know, I'm new to all this. I don't know what these are actually worth. Would it be okay or stupid to trade this Addy for this Addy, you know, rather than just taking it upon yourself and throwing up some you know, low cost RDA and saying, okay, I want this really sought after RDA. And then you get trolled in the comments, and then you get kind of like a bad taste in your mouth. It's like, oh no, because you know, there's a lot of people, they don't mean it like harshly, but it's just something people do. And you know, you're gonna get trolled if you put something silly up in the comments, or you post something silly, you know, in the group. You're just gonna get trolled. That's just the way it is.
We just said there was a guy trying to trade a White Dreamer for a $400 mod. I think I saw that. High-end Addy Trader has had some nefarious, in my mind, like just they're white elephant. I mean, not white elephants. They're just like an elephant. It's an elephant in the room. I mean, when you have somebody come in and put a list up of a bunch of Chinese mass-produced RDAs for $15-20 each, it's high-end Addy Trader. No one's being a dick here. And to avoid people being a dick to you, I mean, that's you bringing it on yourself. I'm a little less, understanding than you, Louis, in the sense that, like, if you're going to go into a high-end Addy Trader and sell a bunch of Chinese mass-produced mods for $20-15 each, a list of them, and you're going to get trolled in the comments, and you're going to say high-end people are assholes and they're elitists. No, dude, you went into a group and tried to sell a bunch of shit for $15-20. You were wrong. I mean, you basically opened the door to that troll.
Yeah, exactly.
So take responsibility for that. That's not the place. There's no place for that kind of stuff. And that's not to say, I mean, sell it somewhere else, man. This is the place for you to be buying or trading or selling high-end stuff. I mean, this is a community here. You wouldn't go into, just place analogy here. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I'll put it like this. Like, if you placed a Narda at market value and a mass-produced BST, you're going to get trolled. Same if you put a what's a mass-produced a profile RDA in our BST, you're gonna get trolled. It's all about the people who are in that group. You just gotta get a feel for the room and be like, okay, I see this, and this, and this are being sold in this group, and this, and this, and this get sold in that group. You know, those two markets don't really mix well, you know. The people cross over and well, but the products themselves, they don't cross over well. They don't mix well when it goes to selling them secondhand.
I have a question for Louis.
Yeah.
So I think we were talking about this the other night. Like, you know, certain people are like, you know, you should list it for RRP. You know, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't sell for over RRP. But then there's certain highly sought after unicorns that go for way over RRP. Like, what is acceptable? Like, who decides when something it's okay to post like a Narda or a Narca or a Skyfall for over RRP? Or what are your views on that? Because I don't know. I paid way over RRP for mine. I just wanted it.
Louis.
Because I don't haggle.
Sorry, I was typing.
Hi, Louis.
All right, what was the question?
Oh my god.
Nardas, man, like paying over RRP for an item. This is a whole conversation for a whole nother time.
That's
honestly. But
yeah.
you can. Definitely touch on it. Don't leave him. Don't ghost him.
Just way to shoot down my question. Never mind. You can just skip it.
You
know what? It's cool. What's up, Chad? How you guys doing?
Don't get caught selling a Narda.
Shout out to David Borda.
RRP, you know, because then you get kicked out of his group. But I mean, it's all about market value, you know. Like buying. Are you asking like why they go over RRP, or are you asking?
In your opinion, because I already know like there's certain pieces out there that you would never get for RRP. You'll always pay more. But on things like that, what makes them, what is it, just a small batch number? Is it hype? Is it because they're super hardy? I mean, when do they reach that level? I mean,
A lot of it is hype, you know, a lot of it's pedigree. Like those are the two main things. Performance being real high up there. Those are the three main things: hype, pedigree, and performance.
do you think that, like, when something is out of production, like it's just done, then it's more acceptable to maybe charge over
A lot of
RRP
it's
for it?
pedigree, man.
It depends on the product. Like, I'm looking for an RSM Rocket R right now. When they are in production, they sold for well over RRP. Unfortunately, RSM went out of business a couple years ago, and after they went out of business, a lot of people started buying and selling them, and they sold for a lot over RRP. Now I put up a want to buy ad for RSM Rocket, and I've gotten a lot of offers back, and they're half of what they sold for
Yeah.
now. So it just depends on the company. It depends on, like, you know, like the movement of the product. Like sometimes it'll be by accident, but like a stream of people will want the same Addy all at the same time, and that can create the like increase.
Look at the Riviera, the way that that's going right now with the
Yeah.
Haku. But that's pedigree once again. So I want to speak to that, but this makes sense right now. David Motram dropped a comment. This is the one that Louis was talking about. That it was a good comment. That's why I'm going to read it. So he said his advice for folks new to the game would be just lurk and observe. Like, get in some of these groups. Like, if you go to the High End Vape forum, we have a post with suggested groups. I think it's in the announcements. If not, we'll go back and check. But anyways, he says, see how the group works, familiarize yourself with the rules, and don't violate the rules of other groups you may be in. That's what he was talking about with the NARDA. Like, if you're caught selling a NARDA over RRP, you may get your money. You're gonna get your money, but you may lose out. Is the consequences you may lose out on being a part of that group. But outside of that, familiarize yourself with the rules. That's the big thing. That's where it's like, for people dropping the Chinese addies, that's a clear infraction on the rules. Just follow the rules of the group. You're going to know just by reading the rules in the group what you can do and can't do. I mean, I've been in this for a while now every day, not nearly as long as these two guys over here. And I'll defer to them in a second, but I've been in this, 5-6 months now every day. And I still will get into groups where I'm like, I don't know how this works. Let me kind of see how other people are posting. Like, if you get into a group and you don't know whether it's a buy, sell, trade, don't just post your thing that you want to sell or what you're looking for. Scroll down and read some of the posts, see if it might just be a community group like ours. Like, they may have a separate BST, but don't like, your name is everything, is your reputation. Yes. It actually means a lot, which is good. I love that in Facebook. So make sure that you treat that as such. You can't just troll like ruthlessly like you can on YouTube, because you're going to lose out on a lot of opportunities in that way. So I want to defer to Pal now, because Pinoy, there's a lot of people in here that follow you, Pal, and I'm really getting into Pinoy stuff now, Philippine stuff. Are there buy-sell trades for that? Is it accessible, or is there only one method for getting it, and that's new, and then you have to buy it through like a authorized retailer?
No, it's just like any European modder or whatever. Like on the Facebook group, they have BSTs. I mean, almost all of them do. I'm super stoked, by the way, I forgot this, to get that one. There's a new company that started, a new modder in the Philippines called Valiant, and they make some just gorgeous, like, gaudy tubes with like resin and acrylic handles. I totally went off track with that, but
yeah, the Pinoy stuff, you can buy it on BSTs.
But yeah, no, they you get on the Facebook groups, for the majority of them, like the good ones, you'll have a buy, sell, trade in all of it. Same stuff, same
Perfect.
rules apply, same stuff.
Any suggestions? Do you have one off the top of your head that you could mention?
I like literally, you just go to the actual modders page.
Oh, perfect.
It's kind of like,
so look MCM up.
Yeah, MCM, or you can, there's other ones. I don't think, does Vicious Ant have one in the Ant Colony?
Yeah, they do, and they have their own like community, and they have their own buy, sell, trade. Like, that's the first place you go to if you want to buy or sell a Vicious Ant, because that's where people are that want to buy and sell them. Then try everywhere else, because they kind of flood the market. That's the thing too, man. things happen. Like Kimberly's are super hard to find, and all of a sudden now I'm seeing a bunch of them. They're not the limited editions that I have, which makes mine still even harder to get rid of because it's more expensive.
I forget. John Galloway said 2J&T mods are one of the finest in the Philippines, and yes, they are. I don't own one. Those guys make like solid. They use solid silver, like actual like solid silver on their mod, like not. I mean, all over it. Those things are
dude. It
bad.
just hits hard. These things hit hard. I have the Spike V2. It just hits hard. No need to purge. Just a good vape. When you want to have that style of vape, like I got back into it, now I'm like dual using both the
dual using.
Let me finish. RS like little squonkers, little single coil bangers, and then all of a sudden like I'll pull out the MMK and be rocking a sub-ohm build on there and just clouds.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Like I would like to have one. Like
it always comes back around.
And during the day when I go out of my front door, it's always a single on a squonk, and when I get home, it's always some type of mechanical beast dual coil cloud chucker. Cloud chucker.
I like to Jeremy Lane. He always dual uses as well. I like to I dual use. I liken it to like I'm one of those rappers. Like if my dual use was a rapper, I'd be that rapper that like grabs his junk and like bounces back and forth and uses one hand, to rap, to spit. Like that's the kind of vapor I am.
Who are you, MGK?
Sugar Kelly. No, I was thinking of Eminem the whole time, but he has more hair than I do. Let's bring this full circle because we're drawn to a close. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a show today, not our usual hour and a half, because we did 2 in a row for you guys, as we promised. And then we'll be off next week, and then we'll be back on our regular schedule. But I want to defer back to Louie again because we were talking about BST etiquette. We're talking about how to talk to modders. That's the question that I want to ask is, do you have any tips or tricks for people that are getting into BST trading other than reading the rules? We've talked about this at length, I think, in little bits throughout this hour that we've been on, but anything that you could say specifically that would help people kind of get more comfortable with searching out things they're looking for?
Just educate yourself. You get into a new group, you don't have to post right away. You don't have to post comments right away. You can just sit back and get a feel for the room and see how the vibe is in that room, see who the big commenters and big posters are. Like in our group, we have top commenters, top posters. Every group has their own people that comment and post the most. You got questions, you can always seek those people out, because I guarantee you 95% of them will go out of their way to answer any question that you have. Like I know I do. When new people hit me up and they have a question, I always take the time, to answer them. Unless it's like, something I can't really help them out with, like getting them into Narmod group. Like I can't. It's just.
You know what the easiest way to do?
It's
the easiest
true.
way to get in the
I'm not in
Narmods
there.
group, buy a Narca, or Narcas are a lot easier to find. If easy is like just in the sense of like how difficult Nardas are to find, or Narbas or Nartas. Good luck. You'll see those everywhere. People trying to get them. But a Narca, quickest way is, hey, you want to get in that group and you want to have access to like the Naria list or any list or whatever, buy a Narca.
Yep.
And you're going to pay a bit of a premium, but it's a good time to buy one, and it's a good RDA. It's a sexy RDA, and you might get a low serial number like me.
Yeah, you got to pay to play, because once you get in that group, then you're good to go. You'll be you get on the list to all future Narmods products. And they don't do like F5 wars anymore or anything like that. They do a master list. You sign up for it, and every month he makes a certain amount. Then he randomizes the master list, and if you're on it, you get it. If not, you just wait until you get on it. But this way, everybody gets one. But yeah, you just got to pay to play.
I got lucky because, like, when I started my channel, like one of the first, well, even before I started my channel, I knew Fictitious Character. Like me and him talked on YouTube for like all of 2017, and then I started my channel in 2018. But he was he's the one that kind of educated me in high-end groups, adding me to groups. And then Louis came along, And then so I kind of cheated because I had FC and Louis, and then there's like Stick Boy, Dane, all those guys. And so them just commenting on the channels and talking with those guys, that's how I learned. So I would suggest checking out the groups, but also, just talking to people, talking to, Fictitious, Sick Boy, Louis, like all those guys, they know, like Jeremy Lane, Dane, like they know, if you're looking for groups to join.
The guys in blue are blue for a reason, not just because they're, moderators in the group and whatnot. They're blue because they've put the time in, they're good dudes, and they're helpful. But I mean, I wouldn't know Louis if not for you, pal. So it's like it's a network. We are a community in the sense of we are a community. So reach out to people. No one's going to be a dick to you.
And the viewers, like the actual viewers, know way more than the reviewers. Like before I started posting reviews, I knew way more product, like when new stuff was dropping, because I was searching all the time. When you review, it seems like you miss that part. And so like the people that are actually commenting 9 times out of 10 on like high-end stuff, they know more about it than you do, and they know like what's going on. But like between Louis and FC, I mean, they pretty much feed me information. So I kind of have like a lifeline, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and then that's where, like, how in investing and in like a company or business, like at a certain point your money makes money for you. Well, at a certain point with replace money for the people that you make connections with, they start spending your money for you, because right when you think you're done, you just all of a sudden you're getting drops, you're getting hints on drops. People are telling you about stuff that is dropping, giving you links or pictures to stuff, and you're like, shit, I want this now. So you're gonna have an unlimited, untapped resource with these
Swags,
people.
you know how many times I've heard you say I'm done? Like in the last like 3 months, Swags, I swear to God, you've been like, okay, I've got 4 mods and 2 RDAs. I'm done. and like 3 days later, you're like, oh God, I forgot that came out. Yeah, okay, I'll take one of those too. I'll take one of those. Like
now I have over 20 of each, and it's just like,
I'm done at least once a week. I'll say that. Like I went on just a strictly mod buying streak the last couple months, and that was costly. So I'm like, I'm done with mods. And then just the other day, I just bought another one just because every day there's something new coming out, and it's like, shit, I didn't see that one.
Speaking of new stuff, because we're wrapping things up, let's go ahead. What are you looking at getting? What's on the horizon? Have you got it? I like this segment that Stan does. That's why I want to do it still. Is what are you looking at that's on the horizon? Have you already got it? Are you looking to get it? We'll start with you, Louis.
Everything on my list is what I'm looking to get. There's new RTA that just came out. It got released on the 25th. Called the 415 RTA out of Japan. It looks like a solid RTA. It comes with an MTL insert, airflow insert, and a direct lung airflow insert. So it comes with both. You don't have to worry about buying extras. And they have a website, so you can go visit the website. You don't have to like join a Facebook group if you don't want to. Shipping's not bad out of Japan. They have 2 shipping options, one for $8. No tracking, no insurance, and then another one for $16, which gets you the whole package.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, it's a pricey RTA because they have a lot of extras. They got slam tanks, they got PMMA, they have Ultim, they have drip tips, they have paint-colored tanks, they have all kinds of shit. So yeah, just definitely go check out 415. It's spelled out, like spell out FOUR.
Yeah, 415. Got it.
Spelled out. Another one is the Flavor RDTA. I can't wait for that to get in my hands. Like I'm like excited about that. The Maverick tank. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on that one. And yeah, those are my 3 things I'm like really excited about. No more mods, just addies for a while.
That should be a little bit less expensive.
Yeah, a little less damaging in a while. I'm really curious to hear what Pal's got his eyes set on.
Dude, it's so weird because I'm basically going to say the same thing as you, but a little different. So I have a high-end Japanese mech tube coming, but it's not from 415. It's from Nihon Mods. I guess they call it Nihon Mods. It's just the kanji symbols on Facebook. So I have that coming, and then this right here, which you mentioned, the Mav T.
Yep.
And then the Flavor RDTA. I mean, we've been waiting for those for a long time. Like those are my 3 right there. So I kind of copied you, although my Japanese was a different, not 4 and 5. It was called Nihon.
So two Japanese modder companies dropped in one
east.
show.
I'm going east.
I would love to see a lot of really nice stuff,
That's
come out of Japan. Because I mean, think about their dedication. I don't want to get it. We'll get Pal and I could go. I mean, all three of us could go off on our love for Japanese culture and
fictitious. You're funny.
But that's cool. I love Japan. Would love to see a samurai sword come out. With you buy a box mod and you get a short sword with the packaging. That'd be some great high end packaging.
Didn't one one of them came with nunchucks?
Yeah, the nunchaku. That was a nice high end.
The reviewers got nunchucks, but I don't think they gave it.
They were solid metal too.
That's pretty awesome.
So what else, Pal? Anything else?
No, that was the three. That was the three things that I'm really waiting on. I mean, that's it. I kind of copied Louis. I mean, two of the three the same.
Okay, then I'll go. Is it by
your CLZ mod?
No, with the things that I want to buy. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff coming.
What do you have coming?
I have a 505, a Stratum 505 coming. I have a Billy Club coming. I have what else? I have the CLZ, and then I have a Palm V2. So I'm set. I'm set on mods. It's just like this is the point where I didn't realize it. Like I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, I have 4 regulated squonks coming. Now I need another Manciata. But I need another tank for that, and that's where I'm going to get into what I want. I've been looking at the Invictus. I think it's called the Invictus. Is it called the Invictus? The VWM, the Vapeware, is it?
Oh, the Integra.
Integra. Yeah, I get those. I keep calling it the Invictus, the Integra. It looks really interesting, and I would love to love it. It's got to be at this point where I love the Dwarf so much that I got 3 of them. And it may sound like I'm bragging, and it's because I am. No,
just let it all out, man.
I love that RTA, and I've wanted forever to love an RTA, and I love the mouth to lung. The direct lung's good, but not as good as the mouth to lung to me. No insert, just a nice restricted direct lung. It's so good. But so I'm gonna have to take a risk on this one because you're not gonna see these on the secondhand market maybe for a while, and if you do, very limited because it's one of those things where it's hard to get. Like the 415 has a website, you can get it, but there might be low stock, but there's always a way to get it. VWM is a secret group, I think, so that I'm not going to say anything specific about drops or anything, but I can say that they have the Integra RTA, and I am looking forward to at some point getting my hands on one.
Vape Mirror mods, they do typically like Hussar wholesale to shops later on, so like 2 or 3 months they'll keep it in the group, and then they'll start wholesaling to other shops and low numbers, a lot lower than what Hussar does, but you can find them at places like Vape Store in France.
Do you feel like more like high-end modders are using distros now?
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, it seems like that's like a trend, like over the last year, like more and more distros.
Yeah. Like 5 years ago, there was really only 2 places to get anything high end. It was Vape and Art and Vape Store or Vapors Boutique. Like those were the 3 places.
Thanks, Dane. I love you too. Sorry, Dane. Basically, we said that he doesn't respect me, and then I looked up to see what Dane said, and Dane was like, "I omitted him on purpose." And it's okay. I love both of you guys. You're my favorites. Some of my favorites.
He's just sweet talking you, man. He's just sweet talking. Yeah. He's a lover, not a fighter.
Don't get my nipples hard. It's not 3 o'clock yet. I need to wait a couple hours. Well, we're winding down even still, and this is the time of the show where we give the reins and control over to Pal 702 to just mess with chat for a little bit. So let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get into.
I would like to see X1s for all of you guys that think Swags has done a fantastic job hosting the show. I mean, seriously, like I don't think I could host a show because I have ADHD and I would be talking about 10 different things. So I just want to say shout out to Swags for being a live, dude, you're on like 3 live shows. Like you are, you you don't fit into like the reviewer mold or the whatever mold, but you're kind of your own entity, and it's badass. Like, I just want to say,
Thanks, bro.
Like, I couldn't have done this. Like, no,
Me either.
nope.
Sometimes you got to step up, right?
Chance.
Make it happen.
And Stan, when you watch the replay, I love you. Okay, I miss you. I have some tenacious right here. But it was fun having Swags. Swags, you were pretty on point, man. I thought we were gonna go off the rails.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like bounced around a lot of topics, but what can you do? You know, we're just excited and passionate about vaping and high-end vaping, and we love the people in chat, like however many of you there are, like all the names. I see all you guys. I know all you guys from the other shows. That's what I love about this community. That's why we're doing this for you guys, because we know that you just wanted a dedicated time to kind of just shoot the shit, and then also give access to high-end, you know, there's smear campaigns, you know, of these people that are like trying to get into high-end that are low-end reviewers, or they're not used to high-end, and we just want to give you the real information. So that's another thing too. If you see a review out there and you're like questioning it, you know, by a certain person or persons, it's like nobody in specific, but like if you're like, hey, does this make sense or that doesn't make sense, shoot us a question and we'll answer that for you. We'll talk about it on the show, because we want, I mean, there's not a lot of access to this stuff, and there aren't a lot of people that have the monetary, you know, the pocket strength, if you will, the pocket game to be buying all this stuff, because God knows, like, I'm not a reviewer and I'm not like a millionaire.
I got credit card game.
Yeah, exactly. Like all this stuff I bought, and that's what made me relevant enough to come on and talk to you about it, because I have enough of it that's come across my desk. So that's just the way it is, and we want to just share that with you guys. So
the reviewers in high end are Facebook posts. You know, you see 10 posts of like a certain RDA, you know, people are loving it, you know.
Absolutely. Always, you post up a hand check, and you know how good it makes you feel when someone says that's clean or that's dope, or drops a hilarious GIF or something. Yeah. Think about how that makes you feel, and then remember that when you see somebody's stuff. Like, throw it a like, a heart, whatever. Be like, but say what's up to them in the comments. It'll make their day. It makes my day.
It makes my day.
Or ask fictitious character, because he doesn't like anything. So when he says something is good, then it's like way off the charts good. Like 10% of the stuff that I say good, he likes. Like, as he put it once, I like what I like. He's a very, very, very specific vapor, which he did say the Apex was like.
It's really good, man. I'm bummed at myself. Like, I know why I didn't want it initially when we were looking at it, but then as soon as I saw you take the top cap off and how deep the juice wall was, I was like, I want it, you know, and I stand by that decision. Having it, it is legit and accessible, and you should just get one. It's basically like if you've ever had a Sentinel. The way the airflow is, it's one of those. It's very forgiving. It's not like a Narca or a Narda, or you know, like I could list Addies where you have to be very specific with how you build it, and you have to tweak it and find it just right. Even the Maverick, you know, which I still haven't figured out yet, but it has moved off of the bench onto a mod without a battery in it. Eventually, it'll get a wick and it'll start being vaped again. But that being said, we're wrapping it up. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. 2 weeks in a row. We're off next week. Thank you to Stratum.store, our partner. Remember to join the Facebook group. It's if we could get a link in the chat from one of the wrenches, that'd be great.
Stratumstore.com.
All right, for the Stratumstore.com. Stratumstore.com. Thank you, AV. You got me. Stratum.store. They have poets up right now. They're in stock. If you want to try the poet, go check it out. I heard the description is really A++, so read that description. It'll probably sell itself.
That's a biased opinion right there.
Remember the code, the VF, gets you free priority shipping in the U.S. We're going to be doing that waffle this week, on the group. So go find the Facebook group, answer the questions, join, get in on the party, because every 1,000 or so we're giving back. Thanks to our partners again for providing us with brand new, beautiful mods for your choice to win for just a little bit of money or however much you want to spend. So thanks for that. Thank you guys for being on the show with me. Sorry, Stan, you couldn't be here. Safe travels. Hope you watch the replay.
He's on his private jet. Yeah. It's got the Dreamer graphics across the side. He's flying right now. Yeah. He's good.
It's a 2-seater.
It's a 2-seater jet. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say before we head out?
Yeah. thank you guys all for tuning in. Like, I know that this show was kind of a secret, like hard to find show. I was
very high end.
Very
I was,
high.
yeah, it was like a closed group, but you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it's Sunday, so it's my Friday, so I'm chilling. I mean, we'll just keep going. Another hour?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
I think I'm ready to get
that's it, though.
lifted. So
It feels good, man, being back. Like, and then we're back on our next schedule, our regular schedule. So in 2 weeks, we'll see you again.
keep your eyes out. Remember, I'm here so you don't have to be. And thanks for hanging out. And we always end on a positive note
Around here.
around here.
I love.
Thanks, guys. We love all of you. See you in the Facebook group. Throw some hand checks up and hashtag whale penis.
Hashtag weenus.
Safe.